Shalom. Call halal Yahweh by Hashem Mashiach Yahweh Shah, giving our praises to the Most High God and His Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ.
That's right.
And we out here trying to give our people wisdom and knowledge. Let me get that Proverbs 3. Start from the top.
Come. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, and verse 1. My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. For length of days and long life.
So, if you keep this law and this wisdom and this knowledge, this will give you life and stability of days. Keep going on that.
Come. For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee.
And our people really need peace in these days, man. Our people are dying at a high rate because of their lifestyle, because they forgetting the law. So bring out that Baruch 4:1.
The book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of Yahweh, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life.
It shall come into what?
Shall come to life.
We're trying to bring our people back to life, spiritually, physically. And that's why we come in these type of areas speaking to our people, man, because Esau got they foot on our neck right now, and it's bringing us death, bringing a lot of death. So, yeah, get some more on that. Go to Proverbs 3. Just keep going on that.
Reading on. It says, verse 3. It says, let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of thine heart. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man.
Jump to 13.
Come, verse 13. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold.
So this wisdom and understanding is more precious than fine gold and silver.
Verse 15. She is more precious than rubies.
She is more precious than what?
She is more precious than rubies. And all the things thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her.
So you cannot compare any treasure, any gold, silver, rubies, any type of jewel to this wisdom and understanding. Have any of y'all seen a real ruby before? Yeah? And was it a rare occasion? and that's how it is, having this wisdom and understanding. The same, just like y'all seen rubies before, a lot of people haven't had this understanding like how we have. Just like that's rare, this is very rare. And we out here trying to get this to our people for free. We almost trying to beat it over the head with the wisdom, but they still don't want to accept it. You know?
This is Sirach, chapter 1, and verse 25. The parables of knowledge are in the treasure of wisdom.
Say that again.
The parables of knowledge are in the treasure of wisdom, but godliness is an abomination to a sinner. If thou desire wisdom, keep the commandments, and the Lord shall give her unto thee.
And you see that, man, keeping that law and that wisdom is going hand in hand. That it's synonymous. Let me get that Psalms 111. I'll see where to start with. Because wisdom and keeping the law goes hand in hand. If you have wisdom, you will keep the law. And when you keep the law, you will gain wisdom.
Which one? Verse 10? This is the book of the Psalms of David, chapter 111 and verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endures forever.
And that's just to prove that wisdom and following the law, it's if you just go into the book of the law, you'll see it's very wise. These are things that give you life. These things keep you alive. It's gains.
That's right.
This is Psalms 89, starting at verse 13. Thou hast a mighty arm, strong is thy hand, and high is thy right hand. Justice and judgment are the habitation of thy throne. Mercy and truth shall go before thy face. Blessed is the people that know the joyful sound. They shall walk, O Lord, in the light of thy countenance.
And that light, that countenance, that's the wisdom. Wisdom making your face to shine.
That's right. I got one more. Got another one. This is 1 John chapter 2, starting at verse 8.
Bring it out.
Again, a new commandment I write unto you, which thing is true in him and in you, because the darkness is past, and the true light now shineth. He that saith he is in the light and hateth his brother is in darkness even until now. He that loveth his brother abideth in the light, and there is none occasion of stumbling in him. But he that hateth his brother is in darkness, and walketh in darkness, and knoweth not whither he goeth, because the darkness hath blinded his eyes.
Kind. And that darkness, you can't mix darkness and light. Go to that, speaking of that, I was just talking about that. Go to John 3 and 18. And that light is also synonymous with truth also. You got some else on that?
Go ahead.
You said John 3 and 18?
Yeah, John 3 and 18.
Come on. This is the book of St. John, chapter 3 and verse 18. He that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. And this is the condemnation, that light is coming to the world.
That what?
That light is coming to the world. And men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved.
And that's that lightness, that truth. That's why we're hate, like it says in Galatians, man, truth make us their enemy. Because they hated the light. So it cannot be no light in you if you hate your brother. That's self-hatred. Got some? Let me get that Deuteronomy 30. Yeah. And what else I wanted? Give me Joshua 1 and 8. I got it.
This is the book out of the law, Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 19. It reads thus and so. It says, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death.
What did he say before?
Life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore, choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live, that thou mayest love the Lord thy God, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him. For he is thy life, and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them.
And there it goes back to that life and the length of days, going back into the law.
That's right.
Going back into the light, going back into the truth. It's all synonymous with each other, and we trying to bring the light to our people, but they rather darkness because they don't want to change. And we just want our people to live. If people would just listen to the message and not the fact that, oh man, they telling me to change. Oh man, they putting me out there like that. We exposing the wickedness.
The words of wisdom out of the book of Proverbs, chapter 6 and verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light.
And the law is what?
And the law is light. And reproofs of instruction are the way of life.
Hold on, say that last part again.
And reproofs of instruction are the way of life.
So we are here instructing our people, trying to teach them, trying to bring them out of that darkness, and trying to give them life. Ultimately, we want them to live. We hate seeing, like Elder was just bringing out, man, we hate to see the state of our people like this. And that's what drives us to push them like, hey, and when it comes to spirituality, it's the only thing where somebody don't want to be taught something. If you working out, like I work out with my bruise, I might get to that last rep, he might tell me to go to 10 and I'm pushing that weight on 10. I'm like, oh no, I can't do it. He gonna push me. He gonna tell me what I don't want to hear. Keep going because he cares about my strength. He cares about my well-being. But when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to the truth, nobody wants to be told, hey, stop smoking that cigarette.
Right.
Hey man, stop, you gotta change your lifestyle. Well, why when it comes to anything else you want to get better in, you'll listen to it, but when it comes to this Bible, when it comes to the truth, no, I got my own walk. I got my own personal. You can't go into the gym and say, man, I got my own personal, routine, and I just lift these 2-pounders all day. Nah, man. Let me show you how to do it, because you're not going to see no results.
Come on. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4 and verse 9. 2 are better than 1.
Say that again.
2 are better than 1, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he had not another to help him up. Again, if 2 lie together, then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone? And if one prevail against him, 2 shall withstand him. And a 3-fold cord is not quickly broken.
Kind. And what Jake say, man, look, I could do bad all by myself. Now I got my own walk, you know what I mean? You do you believe what you believe. And that's what Christians say when they don't got an answer. But you believe what you believe and I believe what I. No, we supposed to be sitting down, finding a common ground, reasoning.
That's right.
Bring that out.
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 1 and verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein.
And that's why we got to sit down and we got to reason. If you think something different and you believe in this Bible, I think so. We should sit down and we should observe and meditate on these things and try to figure out well who's wrong in this situation. Right. Because we should care about each one of our salvation.
Right.
All right. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success.
So once we figure that thing out, then we'll have good success.
I appreciate it.
Bring
This
it
is
up.
Proverbs 25 and verse 9. It says, debate thy cause with thy neighbor himself.
Say it again.
Debate thy cause with thy neighbor himself, and discover not a secret, and discover not a secret to another.
And that's the type of spirit you're supposed to be moving in. Like, man, you're not supposed to, like, you tell your brother, hey man, like, stop smoking that crack, man, get off the corner, man, do something with yourself, man. Look, now this is my life, this is how. All right, man, well, that's on you then. Now, if you really cared about that person, man, you wouldn't give up on them. You'll sit down like, why do you have this problem? Like, what can I do to help you? And that's the type of spirit, instead of seeing us on this corner and like, man, nah, that's just them brothers. I got my own thing going on. Nah, you're supposed to reason. If you really care, you will reason with your brothers.
God, I appreciate it. Just speaking on how we debate and we build it with each other.
Right.
This is Acts 19 and verse 8. And he went unto the synagogue and spake boldly for the space of 3 months, disputing and persuading the things concerning the kingdom of God.
And that's the type of spirit we're supposed to be moving in. And that's why you can go on YouTube and you can look up any Israelites, and we got smoke for any religion,
That's right.
any school of thought, because we're gonna get to the bottom of it. Let me get Sirach 1 and 26. And if y'all got any precepts, y'all can bring the things up.
I got you right here. Yeah, that's a good one too. It's a book of Sirach or Ecclesiastes, chapter 1 and verse 26. If thou desire wisdom, keep the commandments.
If thou desire wisdom, what you got to do?
Keep the commandments, and the Lord shall give her unto thee.
Yeah, and you look in the scriptures all the time, you'll see that wisdom is always called her. Because what does a her do? She produces.
This is Sirach 21 and 30. Wisdom that is hid and treasure that is hoarded up, what profit is in them both? Better is he that hideth his folly than the man that hideth his wisdom. Necessary patience is seeking the Lord is better than he that leadeth his life without a guide.
God, man, you can't hide that light, and that's when wisdom goes back into that light, man. You can't. What good is of a light if you put it under a bushel? I remember being in the world, man. You know, having the same spirit, being around people who don't got the same spirit as me. And I used to dumb myself down just to hang around them. Yeah, you got to get around like-minded people.
You got to do what?
Get around like-minded people. Be continually with a godly man.
This is Sirach 37:12. But be continually with a godly man.
That's right.
Whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry.
Man, if I see my brother go off, I'm gonna be hurt. I ain't gonna be able to sleep at night. That's what type of people you need in your corner. Not like, man, look, man, I remember back in the day when you was young, you riding around with all your partners, y'all 4 deep in the car. As soon as you get in the flat, they all caught in the ride on you. You just stuck there trying to figure out. Man, that's not the type of people you need around you, man.
That's right.
It's the book of the prophet Amos, chapter 3 and verse 3.
Bring it up.
Can two walk together except they be agreed?
Right, man, because it's gonna come to a point where you thought that was your boy until the pressure hit, and then you're gonna see who really for you.
This is Sirach chapter 6. I'm gonna start at 31.
Yep, bring it up.
Thou shalt put her on as a robe of honor, and shalt put her about thee as a crown of joy. My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught. If thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent. If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding. If thou bow down thine ear, thou shalt be wise. Stand in the multitude of the elders, and cleave unto him that is wise. Be willing to hear every godly discourse. Let not the parables of understanding escape thee. And if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him, and let thy foot wear the steps of his door.
Man, you're supposed to surround yourself with people with wisdom, man. Because you know that's going to be, what's that? Did we bring that wisdom should be the stability of time? You can grab that for me?
Isaiah 36, 33, 6.
I got it. You get that?
Oh, yeah. Finish that on there.
Let thy mind be unto the ordinances of the Lord, and meditate continually in his commandments. He shall establish thine heart, and give thee wisdom at thine own desire.
Time, bring it up.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 6, starting at verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first.
That's right.
What?
Prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. For some man is a friend for his own occasion.
That's right.
And will not abide in the day of trouble, of thy trouble.
Time.
This is Sirach 7 and 18. Change not a friend for any good by no means, neither a faithful brother for the gold of Ophir.
Man, so when you got this light and you got this wisdom, man, people should be changing their ways to be able to come around you,
That's
man.
right.
Not
That's
the
right.
opposite. You gotta let your light shine, man. And that's one thing I love about this truth, man. When you put the light on, when you got the laws and you keeping that lamp, man, it's gonna shoo away darkness off dumb. So if people come around you and they got bad intentions, man, they gonna just get cut up by your lifestyle. So it kind of weed out, man, even family, old friends, man, it's going to expose that light. It's going to expose the darkness every time.
I got it too. Okay, go ahead.
The book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 33 and verse 6. And I'm going to start at verse 5. The Lord is exalted, for he dwelleth, for he dwelleth on high. He hath filled Zion with judgment and righteousness, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
Man, so it's going to be a time, man, where all hell going to break loose, man.
That's
the only
right.
thing you're going to have is wisdom on how to move. Whenever you ain't got food at Walmart and you can't just run to your local gas station, you can't do this, you can't just go you got to grow your own food.
Teacher.
Man, it's this wisdom, and we out here trying to give it freely to people, to our people. We trying to give it freely, man, and they don't want it because they know it comes with change and it comes with discipline.
Con, that time you talking about, I got two precepts. This is Daniel 12:4. And at that time shall Michael stand up, and the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation.
Man, it's gonna be a time of trouble that we never seen before.
Alright.
And these things that we coming out, man, it's gonna be. That's when you're gonna realize the price of wisdom. That's when it's gonna be so rare coming up against this. Man, you're gonna be trying to call up the brother that was telling you about it at work. You're gonna be trying to go on YouTube and try to, but it ain't gonna be none of that. It's gonna be too late. You know?
There shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, the people shall be delivered. Every one that shall be found written in the book of life. So like it's written in the book. I got one more. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 5, starting at verse 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft set out again, and the wild beasts shall change their place, and minstrelous women shall bring forth monsters, and salt water shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into his secret chamber, and it shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and inconsistency be multiplied upon the earth. One land also shall ask another and say, is righteousness that make a man righteous gone through thee? And it shall say, La. At the same time shall men hope, but nothing obtain. They shall labor, but their ways shall not prosper.
And basically, that's letting you know, man, wisdom, man, she not gonna be here forever. It's gonna be a time where she gonna go in hiding.
That's right.
And it's not gonna be nowhere to be found. So you gotta get it while the getting is good.
You see Isaiah 4:6.
And that's basically what we bringing out right now is trying to get our people to realize how precious this information is, and it's not going to be here forever. This is going to be the only thing that's going to keep you stable through times. It's going to be the only thing that's going to show you how to move. Right now, everything might be easy, but it's going to come a time where you're going to need this information.
It's the book of the prophet Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 6. It reads thus and so. It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
What are they destroyed for?
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
So, and there go that the law and knowledge going hand in hand again. This is, if you don't have this, you're going to be destroyed, especially if you deny it, if you reject it.
This is Jeremiah chapter 30, starting at verse 6. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail? All faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Go ahead.
And that's the only way we're going to be saved out of that time of trouble, man. It's having wisdom. It's keeping the law.
This is Proverbs 4 and 5. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding.
So you got to get this wisdom. You got to get a good understanding, man. You got to keep the law. That's the only thing that's going to save you in these last days.
That's right.
So that's why we stand boldly out here, you know, risking our life, risking we could be doing anything else, but we out here for our people, standing up against any false doctrine, contending for the faith. And we don't care if we get looked at crazy, because we know that this truth is going to give us enemies. Let me get Isaiah 59 and 15.
This is Proverbs chapter 15, starting at verse 31. The ear that heareth reproof of life abideth among the wise. He that refuseth instruction despiseth his own soul. But he that heareth reproof getteth understanding. The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility.
And that's a perfect precept to what we was just talking about, man. You don't care about yourself. You hate yourself and you can't take reproof or correction.
right.
That means you want to be stuck in your ways for the rest of your life. You don't want to change. You're just gonna keep doing the same wrong thing over and over because you don't want nobody to tell you right from wrong.
That's right.
Come. This is the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 59 and verse 15. Yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey.
Him that departed from evil making himself a what?
A prey.
Man, we out here making ourselves a prey right now.
That's right.
Man, we getting washed out of our jobs. Man, they like, man, look at how this brother moving, man.
Yep.
And, you know, we got brothers.
Yep.
We got brothers out here losing millions of dollars for this, just for man, bring that out from the top.
Done. Verse 15. Yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment.
Man, so man, our people out here getting persecuted for this truth, man. We getting persecuted for this truth. Because we know once you turn away evil, man, you're gonna make yourself a prey. You're gonna become a public enemy number one.
Yep.
All because you want to follow the Most High, but we know what comes with this. You got something?
Read on.
All right, keep on.
Verse 16. And he saw that there was no man, and wondered that there was no intercessor. Therefore, his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness, it sustained him.
And even though he had you'll have many enemies, many people coming against you, being persecuted. But again, his wisdom is what's going to preserve you.
Right. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 145, verse 18. Salakia, starting at 17. The Lord is righteous in all his ways, and holy in all his works. The Lord is nigh unto all that call upon him, to all that call upon him in truth. He will fulfill the desires of them that fear him, and he also will hear their cry and will save them. The Lord preserveth all them that love him, but all the wicked he will destroy.
Man, that's your only protection, man, is keeping this law.
That's right.
Man, seeking wisdom, seeking knowledge. And it's going to come a time where you're going to have to stand up for this truth. So not only do you got to follow the commandments, you got to have that faith enough and Yahweh to stand up for truth's sake.
Teach that.
And that's what's basically what's going on, man, with Kyrie, with Kanye, man. They standing up for truth's sake, and they getting persecuted, not only by the enemy, but by their own people. Bring out that what that is, Second Maccabees 111, 6:6. Yeah, 6:6. And now you give me that Isaiah 29 and 21. Now you can bring that out first. Isaiah 29 and 21.
Time, reset real quick. This is Matthew 10 and 36. A man's foes shall be they of his own household, or a stock of people. Right? Go ahead.
Yeah, so your enemy, man, like we never felt the love from the enemy, from Esau, man. So we don't really care. But when your own people come against you, that's when it's gonna really hit you. So that's what make a lot of Jakes fold up, man, in this truth, because it's their own people. But you gotta understand these things.
Isaiah 29 and 26. Come. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and verse 21. And it reads, that make a man an offer for a word, and lay...
You gotta get from top.
Salat. That make a man an offender, Salaki, for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate.
Man, what is that word, man? That's that truth. Now you are offender because you speaking truth. Now you getting persecuted because you standing up for truth's sake. And you gotta understand that's gonna come with this. So what was that word that he got that they getting offended for? Bring out that Maccabees.
Read out.
Oh, that's 66.
I got you.
Second Maccabees 66. Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. So they turn to an offender. So this is my last precept right here.
Fine. This is 2 Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep the Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
To be a what?
To be a Jew.
To be a what?
To be a Jew.
Man, so that's why we making ourselves an offender, man, because we over a word, over just saying I'm a Jew. Now I'm anti-Semitic. Now I gotta sit down with the rabbis. Now I gotta give money. I don't know what money got to do with this.
Right.
Now I'm losing money because I'm speaking truth.
Right.
Fine. This is Nehemiah 5 and verse 9. Also I said, it is not good that ye do. Ought ye not to walk in the fear of our God because of the reproach of the heathen, our enemies?
So what you mean you gonna tell me you gonna fold up because of them? Do you know what our ancestors did, our forefathers did?
That's right.
Do you know what the prophets had to go through? Man, you gonna fold up just because you might lose your job? Man, what he lost, 4 million?
He lost more than that.
Yeah, more than that, but hey, man, what is that, man? Think about what our people have lost, man.
Hey, the scriptures say, what is a man to gain the whole world?
But to lose his soul.
Fine.
Man, and we know what's real treasure, man. It's this understanding, it's this truth.
That's right.
You got one more?
I'll end it on this. This is 1 Maccabees 1 and 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief.
Man, and that's those brothers right there, man, who couldn't take that persecution, but they couldn't stand on the truth, man. They couldn't stand on it. So they like, hey man, this is too much for us. Man, we might as well just fold. We might as well just call ourselves niggas. You know. Man, these laws was too much for me anyway, man. At least they get to have fun. They get to do what they want to do, you know.
That's right.
They ain't standing on nothing.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 6 and verse 8. Also I heard the voice of the Lord saying, who shall I send? Whom will go for us? Then said I, here am I, send me. Shall I? And he said, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not. See you indeed, but perceive not. Make the heart of this people fat. Make their ears heavy. Shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert and be healed.
And that's the spirit that we coming in, man. Send us, I'm gonna tell my people, man, and I don't care how they feel about it, man. They gotta hear this truth. You're an Israelite, you need to come back to the commandments.
That's right.
Right.
And the faith in Yahweh Shai.
Right.
Shalom, that's it. My time been over. We still.
My bad.